Hi, my name is Dr. Fab. I'm a blogger and I am a spokesperson who talks about the hidden occult agendas of the secret governments and the secret societies all over the world who want to enslave the masses, dehumanize the humanity, and occupy this planet Earth just for themselves. So today I want to tell you about freedom of speech. My freedom of speech has been totally harassed, totally tormented, totally oppressed, totally persecuted by US-based corporations that are making billions and trillions of dollars off the advertisement that they are the beacons of freedom of speech and expression, like Facebook, like Twitter, like Google. So today there is a very big debate about whether we should be doing political advertising or not. When it comes to any kind of elections in the US, whether it is a senator's election, whether it is a congressman or congresswoman's election, whether it is the presidential elections, there are vast amounts of money spent on mainstream media political advertising. This has been going on for more than a century in the political mainstream system of US and even Europe. And this is all being legal and constitutional, and every politician who wants to enter the mainstream politics is allowed the option of advertising his viewpoints and his opinions through advertisements on mainstream media. But when it comes to social media websites like Twitter, like Facebook, like Google, people like us who are independent thinkers, who are bloggers, who want to expose the hidden agendas of the secret governments that are trying to do heinous war crimes against the humanity, against this globe, we are restricted. We are persecuted, we are oppressed, we are not allowed to tell the world what is going on around them, what is going on beneath the lines, what is the true meaning of the operations going on all over the world, who is benefiting from all these wars, who is benefiting from all these operations. We are restricted. We are told we cannot do any political advertisement anywhere in the world because we are not entitled to, because we are the underprivileged. We do not have the freedom to be able to express ourselves. Think about it. There is nothing like organic over here. When you have so much of mass media, black dirty money poured in the communication and advertisement agencies through dark societies, we are competing with those dark societies. We are competing with those secret governments with billions and trillions of dollars of money behind them to back them, that they can literally buy media houses, which they have been doing. Most of the leading media houses of the world are owned by a few elite groups of corporations. They have that much of political clout through the media control. So when it comes to the so-called independent social media, where we try to address our concerns to the civilized, humane citizens of the world, we are restricted and we are told, sorry, you're not entitled to express your opinion, and especially pay for it as an advertisement to reach the masses. I'm a humanitarian. I believe in peace. I'm against war. If I want to expose the terrorist actions of the RSS that are happening in India and that are happening in Kashmir, I am not allowed to do a political advertisement that is based purely upon humanitarian reasons, because the Indian government is giving Facebook or Twitter or Google a hard time. And this is ridiculous, because if this continues, we lost the mainstream media a long time ago to fraudulent and greedy politicians and secret governments and secret societies who were working for their own vested interests at the cost of precious human life, who were war profiteering, who wanted to control the finances of every nation of the world, who wanted the US to set up military bases in almost every nation of the world, who wanted to control every human being in the world and decide who could live and who could die, who wanted to create the dehumanization agenda where humans could be harvested for ulterior motives. So we are dealing with this kind of a mafia, and people like us who are contending them, who are challenging them, who are fighting them. When we try to challenge them through these portals like Twitter, like Google, like Facebook, we are persecuted, we are oppressed, we are tormented, and we are said that, oh, you know what, this is not a fact. And guess what? The fact-checking agencies that they're using on Facebook are heavily connected to the white supremacists. This is what Alexandria said to Mark Zuckerberg in the Congress speech, that why are you using a fact-checking agency that is connected to the white supremacists? So basically, these organizations that are US-based corporations that are purely for profit, but they say that they have this ethical responsibility to promote the freedom of speech, they are using fact checkers that are connected to the secret governments, that are connected to the secret societies, who have their own agenda that is in alignment with the agenda that people like us are fighting against. So we are losing the social media as well after the mainstream media as a means to be able to express our opinion, our analysis, our freedom of expression in opposition to what these secret societies and the secret governments are trying to do all over the globe. Because we cannot advertise anymore. We cannot do political advertisement anymore. We are competing with these people who are pouring in dirty drug money through their drug cartels in political advertisements, in mass media control, in mind programming of the masses, in distracting the mainstream anchors, distracting the mainstream celebrities, in distracting an average human being on earth so that they can get away with all the mess that they are making. We are contending the military industrial complex. We are fighting against the dehumanization agenda of the elite. We are fighting against the total financial control of a few elite all over the world's finances. And when we make a video and we want it to reach as many people as possible so that we can create a political and unarmed and peaceful activism against these nefarious agendas, we are told you're not allowed to do any political advertisement because you are underprivileged. It is only the privilege of the elite class who can do political advertisement. You are not entitled to do any advertisements. So the Twitter head says that all political ideologies should be earned and not bought. I totally disagree with that. We have these very, very rich politicians who are right now connected to some very secret occult cartels, using their dirty money into mainstream politics, buying anchors, buying media houses, churning out wrong information, not through advertisement. This is happening in the back door, that they're bribing anchors, they're bribing media houses, they are coercing their opinion. We are not doing that. We are not bribing anybody. We are not giving any anchor or any media house any envelopes or any bribes. What we are doing is what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to express my concerns that the net neutrality is going away pretty fast. And we are stepping into an era where global citizens who are concerned about the mess that is being made by a few bad guys are going to lose their voices for good. When you say I cannot spend money to spread my message as compared to the people who are spending about billions of dollars more than I am and who have reached way more people than I have, you have already told me that I am underprivileged, I am unequal, and I do not have the freedom of expression, the freedom to speak the truth as compared and in defiance to the lies that are spoken by these covert, occult, secret governments and secret societies. The reason why all of this is being brought up right now is because we are running into US elections next year. In 2016 elections, I was present on Facebook. I had a very strong presence in more than almost 50 groups of US and Europe. And I did heavy campaigning, very strong campaigning, to try to break the New World Order that wanted to control the rest of the world. I fought with peaceful activism against the nefarious agenda of the military-industrial complex that wanted to proliferate more wars. I spoke against Hillary Clinton. I spoke against any politician that wanted to turn this world into a volcano and vaporize it just to make some extra bucks. And the results were there. Hillary lost. So I was able to do all of that on Facebook. Hillary lost. She was totally backed up by George Soros. And we know what George Soros stands for. And so that was a big deal for him. I supported Bernie, and I was very upset when Bernie was forced to give in to Hillary Clinton, because he's a man of, he's a man of ethics, and he wants to do the right thing. And so he should be given an opportunity with his experience and with his ethical background. I supported him in 2016 till the end of the primaries. And then when he gave way to Hillary, I campaigned strongly against Hillary because I knew she was not the right person for US, because she wanted more wars. She wanted to profiteer the military-industrial complex at the cost of human life, not just the human life of the US Marines, but also the human lives of all the victims of these wars, including the Iraqi children, including the Afghan children, including the Libyan children, including the Syrian children, and now the Yemeni children. So I totally opposed her. And also with Trump, I also opposed his xenophobia, his racism, all his eccentricities that have been a big problem, his indifference and his desensitization to real core issues that are going on. So I opposed him as well. I think I supported Jill Stein, who was from the Green Party. But I did a lot of effort on Facebook. And I think I did put in my 2 cents worth of effort to be able to bring about a change in the course of history. Because if Hillary had been selected and elected, we would have looked into a worst case scenario in the Middle East, in the Southeast Asia, compared to what we are seeing with Trump. Having said that, Trump is not perfect. He has serious issues with anti-immigration, and he's got his own human rights records and violations. But having said that, he still was able to decelerate war compared to the previous records of Hillary, who only tried to proliferate war during her career as the US Secretary of State. So being anti-war, being pro-peace, my activism was not going to be heard by the general public had I not poured in my tiny little pieces of funds that I sponsored myself from my own pocket money to help disseminate the message of peace, to help tell people what we think and where we come from and what should be done to stop this menace of war profiteering from spreading all over the globe, and to stop this total financial control of everybody. So this is something I did with the help of political advertisements, and it reached a lot of people in the US. We had millions of views on my Facebook page, and now that we are 1 year from the election, I am totally shut down on Facebook. I cannot do any more political advertisement. My accounts are all suspended, they're disabled. Even the accounts of my supporters are all disabled and suspended. On Twitter, I have a political party by the name of Pakistan Positive League that is based in Pakistan, because I wanted to bring up the issues and the concerns of the 115 million farmers of Pakistan, which is a strongly political issue, and I wanted to bring in aggressive agrarian reforms and change the agricultural policies of the country. So I formed this party, and I was also defying the feudalistic practices of our electoral system that only select and elect the feudals of the country in the parliament, not allowing a common average man without any background and without any strong family connections. I wanted to support that person to come into mainstream politics, so I formed this party for the average common man of Pakistan, for the farmers of Pakistan, for the laborers of Pakistan, to become their voice. And on Twitter, I formed their account, and I started to do political advertising for these farmers, for these laborers, for the underprivileged. And guess what? I am not allowed to anymore. And so this is a big hiccup for people like us who do not want to buy the mainstream anchors, who do not want to fund the media houses and become the corrupt system that we are fighting against, who just want to express their opinion and who want to reach as many people as they can, and who are drowning in the flood, whose voices are drowning in the flood of the distractions that are created by the occult secret societies, the distractions that distract the masses from listening to what the real issues of the world are. We have to save the world, and we have to figure out what kind of portals we're going to be able to use. I've been using Twitter heavily, and Twitter has never censored me. Twitter has always supported me, but now I cannot do any political advertisement, period, which is a big bummer for people like us who do not want to buy their freedom of expression into the mainstream media. I can pay half as much as I've paid in the social media portals to the local mainstream anchors and the media houses, and find my way into the mainstream media with far more coverage. But I refuse to do that because that is wrong. That is called bribery. That is corruption. So a lot of political parties do that, and they do it behind the doors. They don't express, because that is not journalism. That is yellow journalism. That is paid content. So what I believe in is that you do this, you promote your truth, you promote your opinion, you promote your freedom of expression on Facebook, on social media portals that are independent portals, so-called independent portals, now not being independent, and let the public decide for themselves if they want to vote for the Democrats, or if they want to vote for the Republicans, or maybe they want to vote for a third party, or because this is how you're going to be able to bring change. And we were able to bring change because now we have organizations like Justice, for Democrats. We have a lot of organizations that are coming up in US who are bringing a change at a grassroots level. We're trying to stop this dirty money from infiltrating the mainstream politics. I did a lot of blogging on Facebook. Everything was taken down because they just decided to, out of the blue. They don't even give you a reason. They just shut you down because someone reported. If let's say if I'm talking about the war crimes of Israel in Gaza, or the war crimes of RSS in Kashmir, they will shut you down out of the blue if a certain number of Indian trolls or Israeli trolls will report you to Facebook. And they will just say, oh, your post was against the community guidelines. And then they are like, oh, our third party independent fact checker said that you're telling the lies. What about the lies that are being told by the mainstream politicians that have led to the loss of so many people all over the world? The world is on fire right now. We are on the verge of 2 nuclear pre-apocalyptic wars happening, one between Israel and Iran, the second happening between Pakistan and India. And by shutting me down, people like me who want to change the world, who want positivity, who want peace, who want to stop this terrorism of certain terrorists who are trying to terrorize this world for war profiteering, for military industrial complex, to be able to gain control of the finances of various countries, to be able to establish military bases all over the world. If you're going to shut us down, people like us, this world is going to get messier and messier than it is right now. We are probably your last hope, honestly. And this is the way we were able to express ourselves. I can go to the leading media houses of the world and to the local media houses, and I can give them money and I can get airtime, but then I will become the part of the corrupt system that I'm fighting against. When it comes to social media, where you're reaching billions of people through one portal like Facebook or Twitter or Google or YouTube, you are paying for a political advertisement, but you're giving the others the option of continuing to listen to you or shut you down. If they like you, they will listen to you. If they understand what you're saying, they will listen to you. And if they do not like you and do not agree with you, they will shut down and they will write down why they do not disagree with you. That is why you have the comments section where you get instant feedback from the general public. So if I say that RSS has done this in India, and it has done this in Kashmir, and some people do not agree with me and they have tangible evidence to contend my opinion, they can write it down in the comment section right away. There is that option available on all social medias, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google, on YouTube. But let me tell you, if you go to the mainstream media, when these politicians who are going to be contending with each other in the upcoming elections in US, when they have their own political debates going on, And when they have their own political advertisements going on, like Elizabeth Warren is giving her advertisement, Trump is giving his advertisement, Bernie is doing his own, and you know, we will not have the option, the general public will not have the option of giving comments on the mainstream media. So this is the difference that I'm talking about, that you can have more freedom on the social media networks compared to the mainstream medias that are heavily influenced by dirty money, that are owned by the very owners of the corrupt system that we are all fighting against. We want a free world. We want people to be liberated. We want people to have free thinking. But that cannot happen if our voices are flooded and drowning in the flood of the voices of the lies and deceits that the corrupt, the occult, the coward, secret governments and the secret societies are supporting. So it is your choice to stand up, to rise, to become a resistance against this neutralization of the net neutrality right now that's happening right now, where they're going to be controlling our voices on social media after they've already taken over the mainstream media. Without political advertisements on the social media, what are we going to do? Our voices are going to be flooded. Our voices are going to be totally overpowered by the voices of the rich people, the elite people, and who have way more human resources, who have spent billions and trillions of dollars just on social media marketing. So how do you expect activists like us, poor activists like us, who have limited resources, to compete with them, to be able to tell the world what the hell is going on right now, if we are stopped from doing any more political advertisement on social media? That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.